Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest transfer rumours and gossip, that's currently going on in the press. So potentially, it's looking very impressive, Manchester United at the moment. As I said, Solskjaer now is potentially the first manager to win his first 6 games, so he has potentially, beaten some Matt Busby's record, 6 wins out of 6, 17 goals scored in the process, and he's getting the best out of the players. He's only going to Solskjaer. And Rashford now, I think, has scored 4 in his last 5 Premier League games, has it? Including yesterday as well. But what a fantastic victory, that was away at Tottenham yesterday. And definitely our top 4 hopes are alive now. That means we go level on points with Arsenal. We're 6 points behind top 4. That is our target this season, is to get in the top 4 so we can get to the Champions League, next season. Because a month or so ago, we was a mid-table team. Everyone ruled us out, and now all of a sudden, got 6 wins now. And all of a sudden we are back, and it's guaranteed the likes of Arsenal were above us on goal difference, and Chelsea are going to drop points because potentially Arsenal and Chelsea, that's Arsenal's next game, is Chelsea, and Chelsea and Arsenal face each other. And in the mix, Arsenal have got Man City coming up soon, Chelsea have got Manchester City coming up soon, so it is guaranteed that Arsenal and Chelsea are going to potentially drop points, and potentially our next 4 games, I think, are in the league are Brighton at home, Burnley at home, Leicester away, and Fulham away. And they're potentially, we should have 12 points on the board there. They're all the games we should currently win, as I currently said. So it's guaranteed that Arsenal and Chelsea, above us, are going to drop points. I think we could still potentially, maybe catch Tottenham, I think we're now 7 points behind them, or something like that, with that win yesterday, and their fail, had the chance to go second yesterday, did Tottenham as well. But obviously, we want to get up there, we want to elevate to that higher level, which I think we're going to do under Solskjaer, and hopefully compete with the likes of City and Liverpool next season as well. But we still know where our problems are lying. There's still key areas where we do need to strengthen up, and we do need a strong central defender. But Solskjaer, there's been vast improvements, since he's come into the club. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's going with a system that suits the players. I think potentially our midfield looks very effective under Solskjaer with Herrera, Matic and Pogba. And I think, Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself. I think the front men, getting the freedom, to interchange closer together. We're playing with a lot more confidence. He's motivated the team. We're playing more direct. There's more forward thinking. As we all know, we're creating a lot of chances, and we are playing very well at this moment in time. Today, hats off to De Gea, for his second half performance. He had to string off, fantastic saves he made in the second half. I think David De Gea made about 11 saves in the second half. And we did look lethargic in the second half in the midfield. We looked tired. We looked tired up front, and we looked tired, at the back in the second half, because Tottenham created so many chances left, right, and centre, in the second half. And that's why potentially we have got the best goalkeeper in the world. Potentially was a difficult venue to go to, because Tottenham are a good team. They're tactically very good. They've got, the philosophy is very good as well. They have got a good manager, obviously, and they have got a lot of good players. And Pochettino's good at developing young players, as we all know. And we knew it was going to be a difficult game, because Tottenham are still in the mix, for the title. They're in the League Cup semi-final, as we all know. So we knew it was going to be a difficult game, as we all currently know. But it was a good performance in the first half, and lovely piece of brilliance from Paul Pogba to find Rashford. And Rashford still had a lot to do, and he finished it fantastically well. But as I did say, Paul Pogba's doing very well. He's getting the freedom to express himself more under Solskjaer. He's scoring goals, he's providing assists, something he didn't do under Jose Mourinho. But I think Solskjaer's got that winning mentality. He understands the philosophy, and he's won his first 6 games as Manchester United manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that is good to see. 3 clean sheets as well in the process, which is very good to see. And Solskjaer knows the chaplains of the club, he knows the traditions of the club, and he knows all about this club, does Solskjaer, and he has been speaking about that. Potentially, he'd love the job on a full-time basis with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He said it would be hard for him, to leave Manchester United, because he'd love the job on a full-time basis. But I'm still aware that we do potentially need signings, because we still have problems at the back. I thought first half yesterday we did defend quite well, to be quite honest with you. Second half we looked a bit shaky at the back, because Tottenham were putting so much pressure on our back line. But first half I thought we played very well. We created chances, and I think that front three looks very effective. I think Rashford operates well, when he's playing centrally. He looks very good in that number 9. I think Martial's very influential on left hand side. He creates that width very well. Does Anthony Martial, and Jesse Lingard I thought played well in the first half as well yesterday. But overall it was a good performance in the first half. Second half was shit. But first half, we did play very, very well, and we caused all sorts of problems for Tottenham at the back in the first half because we was getting runs in behind, we was getting passes in behind, as we all know, and potentially we looked very, very dangerous on the counter attack, as we all couldn't know. But he's changed his team as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's brought positivity back to the club, and he doesn't rest on his laurels. Solskjaer, he shows that inspiration, and he loves Manchester United, as we all know, because he was a great, great player, for 11 years. Was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. Great player for 11 years, scored in the 1999 final, and he was, fantastic under Alex Ferguson. He's obviously worked with some of these players as well in the United reserve team. As I said, but he knows the culture of the club and he knows the traditions of the club. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he should get the job. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my opinion, a lot of United fans would like to see him, get it on a full-time basis. A lot of United fans would like to see Solskjaer get the job on a time basis, because potentially he said he's going to give everybody the chance, as I currently said. He was talking about rotating. I think the youth are going to grow and develop under Solskjaer, and I think this team is going to flourish under Solskjaer because he's getting the best out of the players. He's getting the best out of the players. The players are getting the best out of him as well because he made it clear he wants them to go out there, express themselves and get them enjoying football again, and that's exactly what we have currently done. But we still know there's key areas in our squad we need to address, and we've still got to think about contract renewals because we've got a lot of players coming to the end of the contracts, and I still think potentially players will leave. But he did bring on yesterday, he brought Romelu Lukaku on, didn't do well when he came on. He scored in his 3 previous games before Tottenham. He brought Scott McTominay on, and he brought Diego Dalot on as well. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But obviously, if you put the likes of Lukaku in that team, you put Lukaku in that team, you put the likes of Juan Mata in that team, and Fellaini and all that in that team. It's slow. There's no tempo to his play. It looks slower when you've got Lukaku in the team. Because I don't see how Lukaku fits our front line. To quite honest, when he's alongside Rashford and Martial and Lingard and all that, he doesn't fit it because Lukaku hasn't got any pace. He's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. We all have concerns about his first touch, but as I did say, he doesn't have any pace. Lukaku, he's slow, just like Matic is slow, and I've got reservations about him. But to be fair to Matic, he dramatically improved under Solskjaer. He's galloping forward more, his distribution's improved. I think he's effective in his. I think he's very effective in his passing, and I think Matic's passing is very, very good. To be quite honest, with the man Matic is. He's very, very effective in his passing. Is the Nemanja Matic, to be quite fair. But strong. I still got reservations about him. To be quite fair, but I still think we need a centre defensive midfield. That's fast and tenacious. I think we need a strong central defender, and potentially we need someone on the right as well, because all our attack, is coming from the left hand side. As we all can know, that was a big victory yesterday at Tottenham, who have got a lot of good players, and De Gea rightly deserves the man of the match. To be quite honest, because people may say, if he wasn't in that, yesterday would have lost. We probably would have lost yesterday, but potentially Tottenham just weren't clinical enough, and we were clinical, and we potentially took our chances, and that's why we won the game. Paul Pogba had 3 chances in the second half yesterday, so he could have had his name on the score sheet, as I currently said. But the four next league games we should comfortably win. I know we've got Arsenal in the FA Cup coming up soon as well, but potentially, so we definitely need a central defender, as we all know, because as I did say, I think Victor Lindelof's improved at centre back this season. He's done very well this season. Baye's obviously still suspended, and he's hardly played this season. He's been in and out of the team, and I think Phil Jones can play well when he gets to run of games, but he's known for injuries. But I think him and Smalling will be leaving next season, in my opinion. Smalling, obviously he's injured at the moment. I think so too is Marcus Rojo. This is why they haven't been featuring. I think Valencia could be leaving as well, because obviously Ashley Young's our first choice right back now. Obviously, and Valencia he's hardly played in the Premier League this season. He's been a good servant over the years. He's been here about 10 years. Ashley Young's been here a good 7-8 years now. But obviously, differences as well under Solskjaer. We're getting fullbacks high up the pitch. And that's something, we didn't do under Jose Mourinho, as we all know. But there's confidence in the team, there's heart, there's desire, there's passion, shown in the team. And you can just tell, we're playing in the right manner to get us to that level, where we currently want to be. And I think, we can challenge for the league next season, but we just need a couple of signs, as we all know, on the board. So potentially we know that Koulibaly, has been heavily linked to a move to Manchester United. I don't think Koulibaly wants to be at Napoli anymore. I think he's been there a number of years. I don't think he wants to be there anymore. So I think he's potentially trying to push the move, Miss Koulibaly, due to this racial abuse. Some of it's due to this racial abuse, that he suffered, back on Boxing Day. He suffered racial abuse. He doesn't like that, and potentially feels unsettled in Italy. Does Koulibaly? He doesn't want to be there now. Koulibaly, he's an exceptional player, and he would dramatically improve our defensive line, as we all currently know. And he'd be my number one out of all the the players we are linked to, because he's such a great central defender. He adapts every area of his game very well, and I think he'd be a great leader in our backline with Koulibaly. Reports were coming out saying that also too Real Madrid were interested in him. So why don't we just fork out whatever it is, 90, 100 million pounds for Koulibaly, get a strong central defender in that we desperately need. I know, we have got the financial power, to meet his valuation. Potentially, according to from Napoli's perspective, they're not willing to do any business though in this January window, because potentially so far we've had 3 bids turned down for the player. The recent one was £95 million. Potentially it would make him the most expensive defender in the world. So we need to address our defensive deficiencies, because we still got problems there. Just like Liverpool did, they addressed their defensive deficiencies, didn't they, with a sign of Virgil van Dijk for £75 million. And I still potentially think, they could win the league this season. Liverpool are 7 points ahead now. Manchester City, play tonight, as I said. As I did say, they've got a lot of good players. Klopp's invested, in the last couple of seasons. And obviously, from Liverpool's perspective, they'd want to win the league. They haven't won the Premier League since it got founded in 92-93. They haven't won it all in all for 28 years, and they haven't actually won a major trophy since 2006 with Liverpool. And if Liverpool don't win any silverware this season, potentially Klopp will be under serious pressure. And potentially, they're out of the FA Cup, they're not in the League Cup, so they've got the Premier League and Champions League to go for of Liverpool as well. I still fancy Liverpool to win it, because they did beat Brighton, so they have got back to winning ways now. Liverpool, after losing their 2 previous games before that, but potentially they've got a great attacking trio with Salah, Firmino, Mane, and potentially they still look a very good team this season. They've addressed their defensive deficiencies of Liverpool. But this is my club, Manchester United. This is something we need to do. We need to address our defensive deficiencies, and I think Koulibaly would be the right man. And he's been in Italy numerous of years now. He has got a contract with them, as we all know, until 2023, and I think he does want to make the move to Manchester United, as we all know. Ed Woodward has been in discussions with the Napoli officials. Potentially, Napoli only paid £6 or £7 million for him from Genk, when he was younger in his prime, as we all know. He began his career with Mets, and potentially, he's grown and developed fantastically well, and he is 27 years of age, and he's got great physical attributes that would potentially, improve our defensive line. But I think he does want to make the move from Napoli, because he feels now unsettled in Italy, and he's been there a number of years anywhere. But we know potentially Solskjaer came out in the press saying it's unlikely that Manchester United will make any signings in this January window. He's come out saying it's unlikely Man United will make any signings in this January window. He says he doesn't expect Manchester United to make any signings in this current January transfer window, but I think definitely, we do need signings, a couple of signings. Potentially the other defenders, we have been potentially linked with, has been, Inter Milan Skriniar. He's 23, so he's potentially 4 years younger than Koulibaly. He's nowhere near on the same levels as Koulibaly. He's Koulibaly's Milan Skriniar. Reportedly, he's got around a 54 million. Well, reportedly, come out in the Italian press that Reed put around the £54 million bidding for Milan Skriniar. Reportedly, he's been at Inter Milan since 2017. He's young in his prime. He's 23. He's made over 60 odd appearances at Inter Milan, since he's been at Inter Milan. Reportedly, I think he's got 3 years left on his current deal still with Inter Milan as this Milan Skriniar, but potentially, being one of Ed Woodward's targets as well as Milan Skriniar. But he's only 23 years of age, so we potentially would get longer out of him than Koulibaly, because he's younger. He's 4 years younger, but he's nowhere near on the same levels as Koulibaly. Could arguably say if Skriniar was 27, he'd potentially be somewhere along the line on the same level as Koulibaly, or potentially better than Koulibaly, as we all know. But Koulibaly is our number one target, is our main priority target, as we all know. We know there's other defenders' names, that have been mentioned. We've been keeping linked. We're linked with that Toby Alderweireld from Tottenham. As I do keep updating you on Toby Alderweireld's a very good player. As I did say, I do have reservations about him. I think he's lost the pace a little bit now, Toby Alderweireld, as I said, because he is 29 years of age. Knows the Premier League very well, so he's Premier League proven. He's Toby Alderweireld, and Tottenham have obviously extended his contract, his current contract till 2020, as we all know. This includes a 25 million release clause, for Toby Alderweireld, but he's Premier League proven, and he knows the Premier League, does Toby Alderweireld as well. So potentially, we have been linked with him, and he can play as a fullback, and he plays a centre back and a fullback as well. And potentially, we know being linked with that Eddie Militao, young 20-year-old Porto central defender, as well. Because he's been mentioned, quite a few times in the media. Brazilian, 20-year-old, only joined Porto last summer, as we all know, and potentially his versatility, because he plays a centre-back, a defensive mid and a full-back. I think he's predominantly a right-back. He's Eddie Militao. He's got a 40 million release clause in his contract. I think he's got 4 years left on his contract with Porto, but reportedly his performances for Porto have been very, very good this season. Reportedly as the players, but we have been keeping track of him as well. Potentially we've also been linked, with that Costas Manolas as well. He's been mentioned in the press quite a few times as Costas Manolas, the Roma central defender. Riley Ola represents him. Reportedly did say Man United were in talks to get him. It did actually say Manchester United, we're working on the deal with Riley Ola, and he's got around the 32 million release clause. He's got a 32 million release clause as this Costas Manolas reportedly. He's a Roma central defender, as I said. Don't really know much about him, to quite honest with you. He's 27, he's Greek, and I think he's over 6 foot, is this player. But reportedly, we have, been interested in him as well. So we are linked, with quite a few central defenders, that would like to get into the club, as we all know. Recent reports have been coming out as well. We've been interested in that Yannick Carrasco, as I've been updating you on a regular basis. He's a winger. He plays in the Chinese Super League, and that's one of the key areas we do need to strengthen up. We do need a right winger in our team, to be quite honest with you. Yannick Carrasco obviously has been linked to a move to Arsenal, as we all know. I think from the player's perspective, he does want to make the move to Arsenal, does Yannick Carrasco, but reportedly his current wages he's receiving could be a problem with him making the move to Arsenal. Arsenal have had negotiations with his agent, as he did confirm. Potentially it's confirmed that we've also been interested in Yannick Carrasco, because reportedly his wife has admitted this. He's confirmed this, that his wife's admitted that he's open to the move. I think he does want to come to play in Europe. Does Yannick Carrasco. He's 25 years of age. He is Belgian. Reportedly he can score goals, as he has proven. He can provide assists as well. Don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you. Reportedly the press were reporting the other day that he was willing to accept accept a cut deal from Arsenal, because reportedly they couldn't match his current salary or wages. He was currently receiving in the Chinese Super League. He's only been in China for now nearly a year, I think, because he joined from Atletico Madrid last February. I think this Chinese club paid £27 million for him from Atletico Madrid. He spent 2.5 years at Atletico Madrid. To be quite honest with you, I think he scored in the Champions League final for them. I think he scored like 23 goals in 124 appearances for Atletico Madrid, and he began his senior career in Monaco. I think he scored 20 goals in like 105 professional games, for Monaco, obviously, when he was younger in his prime. But potentially, we have been linked with Yannick Carrasco as well, so he's another name that's been potentially, mentioned in the media, as I said. He's another name that's been potentially, mentioned in the media, as I said, as a Yannick Carrasco, but I don't really know much about him. But as I did say, guys, I don't think Fellaini complements our midfield because he's slow and static, as I said. I don't think, to be quite honest with you, Lukaku, I think he makes the impacts from the bench mainly, does Lukaku, as he has proven recently, but I don't think he complements the likes of Martial, Rashford and Jesse Lingard, because he's nowhere near as good as him. He hasn't got the pace, he's too slow, he's Romelu Lukaku, so I just don't see how he fits in that system, to be quite honest with you, Romelu Lukaku. And Fellaini, I don't see how he fits in this new regime, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer anywhere. Fellaini, he has been here since 2013, so I think potentially Fellaini could be leaving. We did pay £27 million for him from Everton, as we all know. But as I did say, it's reportedly said that AC Milan have reportedly been interested in him. I think Darmian could be going as well, because he hasn't been a first team regular this season. Obviously, Luke Shaw's our first choice left back, so I do, in my own opinion, think Darmian could be going. Reportedly, a few recent reports suggested out that a few Italian clubs have been interested in him, so I think he could be going as well. So we could see players going, as we all know, but potentially Solskjaer knows his tactics. He's got that winning mentality. He knows his best 11, as we all know, and I think that's our best 11. That we played yesterday, or one of us. Best 11. Potentially when you've got Lingard on the right, when you've got Rashford in number 9 in the middle, where it looks more effective. Martial, I think, is very, very good on the left. He creates that width very, very well, and he causes problems for fullbacks on that left hand side. Does Anthony Martial? To be quite honest, he really, really does.
But as I did say to you guys, we still need potential signings, as we all currently know in the process. Potentially Ed Woodward has got a few. We know the club are still recruiting, obviously, to get a full-time manager in at the end of the season on a full-time basis. And we're still recruiting, to get the director of footballing, recruiting to get a director of footballing. We know potentially Mauricio Pochettino has been Ed Woodward's number one target, and we know he's been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford as Mauricio Pochettino. But as I did confirm to you guys, it's now looking in jeopardy. So that is in jeopardy now, reportedly, because it's looking unlikely now he will come at the end of the season. Because as I did say to you, he's looking to win his first major trophy as manager, because he's never won a trophy as manager. Recent reports coming out from Danny Lever, as I did update you on, suggesting that Danny Lever, the Tottenham chairman, is reluctant to let Pochettino leave. And he said even if Man United were to offer in the excess of £50 million, he would reject it. So reportedly would Danny Lever. So I think potentially, I know he's been his number one target to coming at the end of the season, because he has been in negotiations with Manchester United as Mauricio Pochettino. But as I did say, I do think Pochettino is. He's going to be staying at Tottenham, because as I did say, he said himself he's got strong reservations about leaving North London as Pochettino. He signed a 5-year deal, last summer with Tottenham. I think he's managed over 250-odd games, for Tottenham now as Mauricio Pochettino. He's been managing since 2009, and he knows about the Premier League, and he understands the philosophy. He's only spent, he'll be frustrated with a lack of transfer activity, because he's only spent £50 million, since 2014 as Mauricio Pochettino, as we all know. So that looks unlikely now, and we know that Zinedine Zidane has also been mentioned, but potentially, I'd give Solskjaer the job on a full-time basis, to be quite honest with you. He'd definitely take the job on a full-time basis, because he loves the club. He's brought positivity back to the club, as we all currently know. And we know Silly One got mentioned the other day in the media of Gareth Southgate, potentially added to our managerial shortlist, because obviously now Pochettino looks unlikely. But no, I don't think any Manchester United fan, or the majority of Manchester United fans, would like to see, Gareth Southgate come. As I said, because he's an average manager. Is Gareth Southgate? Yes, he might have progressed England to the semi-finals, at the World Cup last summer. But that was the youngest England team that was playing in the last World Cup. That was the youngest England team that was playing. Then potentially they need to grow and develop more. And potentially he signed a contract last year, was it, until 2022? Did Gareth Southgate? But I don't really. He only managed once at club level, and that was Middlesbrough for 3 years. He's also managed England under 21s. I know he played as a player. He played for Palace and won the First Division Championship with Palace, and he won the League Cup with Villa and Middlesbrough and all that, because he used to play for them in his playing career. He made over 500 appearances in his playing career. I think he made 57 appearances for the England national team in his playing career. And he played in a couple of finals. He played in the 2000 FA Cup final. He played in the 2006 UEFA Cup final with Middlesbrough. And he played in the 2000 FA Cup final with Aston Villa, as I currently said. But as I did say, no, it wouldn't be for me, Gareth Southgate, to be quite honest with you. No. So that was a silly, name to be mentioned in the press. But reportedly, it came out from Sky Sports that reportedly was linked with the Man United job, reportedly. But he is a silly name. And a lot of United fans reacted to the rumour, and, they actually laughed it off. Did a lot of Manchester United fans. So it would be one big mistake, it'd be a big mistake if we did recommend him in at the end of the season to come in on a full-time basis. But yeah, I think Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis, because I think he knows what he's doing. He's got the winning mentality. He's put the confidence in the team. He doesn't rest on his laurels. He shows that inspiration, and he's got the players playing the United way. The way we used to play him under Alex Ferguson. Which is very, very good to see. But as I did say, I'd love Koulibaly to come in somewhere along the line. I hope we can get a deal done for Koulibaly this month rather than wait till the summer. But as I did say, the Napoli president confirmed that they're not really willing to do any business. But as Koulibaly, from his own perspective, he's unsettled in Italy. Majority of it's probably due to that racial abuse, racism abuse, he suffered, on Boxing Day. And I think he's unsettled in Italy, and he has been there a number of years now. So it would be good, potentially, to come and see him experience the Premier League, Koulibaly, as we all know. Potentially, we know we're still in talks with getting Herrera a new contract, Mata a new contract, and Ashley Young a new contract at the club as well. So we are in talks with them as well. Yep, so potentially, Solskjaer getting the best out of the players. We was a mid-table club a month ago, when we had Jose Mourinho, because this job just wasn't for Jose Mourinho, as I currently said, because, as I did say, he wasn't getting on with the board, the players weren't playing for him, he was having, disputes with the players and disagreements with the players, especially, including Paul Pogba. as we all currently know. He did win 2 trophies in his first season, the League Cup and the Europa League, which I only credited Jose Mourinho for, really. We got the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal, so we haven't won much silverware since Ferguson retired in 2013, but I think now we can elevate to that higher level. We're up with Arsenal now. We're level on points with Arsenal, as I did say. And as I did say to you earlier on, Arsenal have got a lot of problems of their own. I knew Remre needs to address that. But as I did say now, we're on the level points with Arsenal, and it's guaranteed Arsenal and Chelsea are going to drop more points because Arsenal and Chelsea play each other next. Chelsea have got City coming up soon. Arsenal have got Manchester City, coming up soon as well. So essentially, it's guaranteed that they are going to drop points, as we all know. So anyway, drop your comments, slides below on the channel. If you do consider subscribing, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. I will be back soon, guys.